YouTube Music Premium je tu pro vás. Během večeře s přáteli a rodinou? Na dlouhých cestách bez signálu? A když je obrazovka telefonu zamknutá? Je plný skvělých funkcí, díky kterým budete mít pocit, že jste s kapelou. Pomohou vám najít hudbu, kterou hledáte, a objevit novou hudbu, kterou už nepřestanete poslouchat. Přejděte na YouTube Music Premium. Hudba bez přerušení, přímo pro vás. Vyzkoušejte měsíc bezplatně.
Hi and welcome. Thank you for joining us at Touring Guide. It's my honor to welcome my friends. First, there will be a touring guide. Polish guys will speak, Marek Hojda and Tamara Kaminska, and then Saša Pastorková from Slovakia, and Markus Fitzgerald from Gigmate platform, and Ines. Thank you very much for joining us. And also I would like to say a little tip for the Czechs who are thinking about going abroad and touring. We do have a Czech export office as well called Soundcheck. You can get some financial support, so don't miss it. Check soundcheck.cz for the programs of support, and enjoy our touring guides. Bye.
Hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to meet you. Of course, I regret very much that me and Tamara, we cannot be personally at the event. But anyway, this chance to talk to you from the screen, it's kind of opportunity that we should take it. Tamara has a little delay, so she will join us in 5 minutes. But I'd like to start to tell you about touring guide in Poland. I'd like to share my screen. I hope you see the screen. Touring guide in Poland. First, I'd like to start with presentation, some data about Poland, and this data concerns music import vs export. Of course, it concerns Poland. You should ask in Music Czech for the data about Czech Republic, but I think that proportionately you have the same gap between import and export like we have in Poland. As you can see, ZAIX, the Polish Collecting Society, the Polish equivalent of Czech OSA, sent over 80 million zloty to foreign artists and songwriters in 2019, and just 11 million Polish zloty was collected from abroad for Polish artists from ZAIX. This presentation shows you how many royalties are collected from ZAIX, Polish Collecting Society, from abroad. And this should be interesting for you that Czech Republic is on the 4th place after Germany, that collects more than 50% of royalties for Polish authors collected from abroad. Czech Republic, USA, and Rakouska is on the 4th place. Of course, this could be a little bit strange because everybody is dreaming about making career in USA rather than in Czech Republic, but the facts shows that Czech music market is so important like American market. Here on this slide you can see concerts as the most frequently chosen source for listening to music. Polish Ministry of Culture made a survey by asking people what is the main source for listening to music, and age group between 18 to 24 answered that live shows are the main sources for listening to music. to them. Maybe if you are planning to tour in Poland, you should take this fact into account. Then we have Tamara on board.
Yes. Good morning. Sorry, some technical issues I faced.
We are both directors of Music Export Poland, so it's great to have you on board. The second slide shows the number of music events and concerts in Poland. Based on this data is based on the ticket office Co i Gdzie website and shows over 150,000 music events and 200,000 concerts took place in Poland in the period between 2016 and 18. The following terminology has been used: concert. By concert, we understand the single performance by one artist or band, and music events is continuous music event that may consist of several individual concerts of different artists considered as a whole. Starting with 2016, a steady decline in events recorded on the website can be observed, which is a result of changes made to the Co i Gdzie ticket office website, not in the concert market itself, because this is due to the appearance of other ticket offices, and it's just hard to aggregate all the data. But in reality, the number of music shows has been increased in Poland in recent years.
Also, if I may interrupt you, it's very important that all those data, they came from a comprehensive study of the Polish music market, which is available online. And if you're interested in the Polish market, it's very useful tool to get the overview and understand not only concert market, but also other parts of the music business in Poland. So that's just a short interruption.
Exactly. It's available. This report is available on the website of Ministry of Culture, Polish Ministry of Culture and National Heritage. Let's move on to the next slide that shows which season is the best season for playing gigs in Poland. We can observe that maybe September is not right time to go for touring in Poland, but maybe late autumn or spring are the best periods for playing shows. The next figure shows biggest events in Poland. The map of Poland is divided between voivodeships in Poland. Voivodeships in Poland is like province or Bundesländer in Germany. You can see that in South and North Poland, we have the biggest number of big events like festivals in Poland. Although in Warsaw, in Mazowieckie Voivodeship, we have the biggest number of concerts and live shows. But when we take into account the biggest festival, most of them are organized in Gdańsk area and in Krakow area. And in this slide, Tamara, you would like to add something?
Well, basically not. It's pretty much enough what you said. I hope that we'll have some questions, Mark, and then we can just go deeper into details.
Here you can see the structure of genres, music genres performed during live shows. So we can see that pop music and rock music are the kings. Classical and jazz are quite strong, but other genres like alternative, reggae, blues, electronic are rather niches. So it's worth to take into account by planning tour in Poland.
Also, it's good if we can go back to the previous slide, Marek. Also, it's good to know that rock and pop, they're basically connected with city anniversaries. So a lot of rock and pop music you can find on cities' celebrations in which Polish city, which usually take the market for all summer. And jazz is extremely popular also because in almost every single Polish city we have just festivals. And it's quite obvious that even 3 or 4 in one city like Katowice or Krakow, they have more than one. And what is important as well is that classical music is very popular also because of venues that we have. So big venues like Philharmonia in Szczecin Philharmony, or NOSP, Polish Radio Symphony Orchestra house, they're very popular also because of architecture, and they're popular because of themselves. So it also influenced the classical music market. So it was the only one thing I wanted to add. We can continue.
Yeah, exactly. We have plenty symphonic orchestra, like we have 2 orchestras in Katowice. What Tamara has mentioned, the radio orchestra and philharmonic orchestra, and those philharmonic concerts are covered by this 15% of classical music, what you can see on the screen. And I'd like make you aware that one of the goals that Music Export Poland wants to achieve is building comprehensive database. And when you check our website, you can find database with the database that includes PR booking management agencies in Poland, radio stations in Poland, and many venues. The data is divided by music clubs, philharmonic venues, arenas, halls, radio concert halls, and so on. On the spreadsheet, you can find the website of these venues, contacts to organizers, phone numbers. So I'd like to encourage you to use this database that can be very useful for Czech music industry, for those ones who wants to tour in Poland.
Also, this database is constantly updated, which means that all information you find there, they're checked by us on a daily basis almost. So it's very unlikely that you will find some old information on something that is not existing anymore. Of course, we all know that COVID-19 pandemic influenced the market. So it might happen that next year we'll be forced to review our database and delete or change some things. But we, like Marek said, we highly encourage you to look at it, to check what might be interesting for you, and also to reach us if you feel that you have some additional questions on which you cannot find the answer in our database. You can always find us and connect with us, and maybe we'll be able to not necessary to answer to your questions, but maybe to just tell you whom you should reach to make sure that you will be in touch with Polish market.
Yes, and when you saw that Czech market is so important for Polish music industry like American market, I wonder how it looks in Czech Republic, how important Polish music market is for you. Yes, and now we are ready to answer your questions.
If there are any.
If there are any.
No questions yet,
No.
David said. Well, if nothing came to your mind now, you can always, like we said, you can always reach us, and you can find the contact details to Music Export Poland on our website. And also Facebook is a very good source of communication, of information as well about us. Unfortunately, we cannot see you. That's this disadvantage of being panelists, that we are very happy to be here to present, but unfortunately we cannot see you. But that's true. It's good to at least have meetings like that, and we are very grateful, and thank you, Anna, for inviting us and having us, and David for support. So it's great to be here. And we hope that in future, maybe our markets, which are so close to each other, will collaborate even more, although there are some collaborations already. So looking forward.
So we have 5 minutes more, so maybe we should tell you how the current situation looks in Poland now. because the pandemic is getting still stronger. The number of diseases is still increasing. So the concerts are still allowed, but only capacity of like 25%, one quarter percentage of the seats can be fulfilled in the venues. So it's probably hard for you
now. For now, but we expect that more and more restrictions will be next week's. We are quite expected that everything will be shut down, like in Germany or France. So yes, we are aware. Pozdrawiamy również. Okay, I guess that if there are no questions, we should say thank you and leave the floor to Saša. And once again, it was very nice to be here, and we really hope that all what we discuss now can happen somehow, and we can meet in real life somewhere in the world. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Goodbye.
And
I
stay
hope
safe.
to see you maybe next week personally at the Nouvelle Prague.
Next year.
Next year. Yeah.
I've understood next week. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
YouTube Music Premium je tu pro vás. Během večeře s přáteli a rodinou, na dlouhých cestách bez signálu a když je obrazovka telefonu zamknutá, je plný skvělých funkcí, díky kterým budete mít pocit, že jste s kapelou. Pomohou vám najít hudbu, kterou hledáte, a objevit novou hudbu, kterou už nepřestanete poslouchat. Přejděte na YouTube Music Premium. Hudba bez přerušení, přímo pro vás. Vyzkoušejte měsíc bezplatně.
Want to read?
Hello everyone. I will have a quite a different presentation, but I hope you will enjoy it. Welcome to my little tour across Slovakia, and I have prepared for you a brief overview of clubs and several festivals from our domestic Slovak scene. We have quite a short time, but you can also ask me some questions after my presentation, or of course if you want, you can contact me personally also. Okay, we can start. You will see my map, and I would like to start in the middle of Slovakia in Brezno. In Brezno, there is one of my favorite underground club, Bombura. Bombura is the oldest club in Slovakia. Exists for 28 years, and it's an independent culture place and the oldest music club in Slovakia. Nowadays, the club is used for many alternative music genres, offering culture beyond the mainstream, mostly culture beyond the mainstream. During the months, they are every month organize average of 4 or sometimes more concert as well, and also various discussions, literary evenings, theater and festivals. From festivals in Bombura in August, me and with my team and also with owner Maros Pavuk, owner the club, organized the E&A Festival. It's 2-day international multi-genre music event focused on French music and culture. And another popular festival in the end of November and at the beginning of December, Horehronské Jazz Days. They play during 4 evenings, 6 bands, and it's also International Music Jazz Festival. Okay, we can move step forward to another city, to Banská Bystrica. There is a quite popular Center for Independent Culture, Garden. Is a meeting place for different people and communities. And Garden, as a culture and community center, offers a year-round program for various target groups. For example, there is organized many educational activities for young people and general public indoors place, and also in the garden, and of course a popular venue for music concert. Next one, or next town, will be my hometown, Banská Štiavnica. I have personally tell you that I think it's one of the most beautiful cities in Slovakia, and also one of the most artistic city. There are 2 of my favorite spots, cafe, a community center, art cafe. Art cafe exists more than 22 years, and another young urban culture space for fine arts, clubs, cinema, and music concert, Eleusina. 2 of our festival organized by my own team, by Spectaculum production team, take place in Štiavnica. One of them is Festival Zvuk for Štiavnica, in English means Sound for Štiavnica, and also underground alternative festival Slovenské alternatívne leto, Slovak Alternative Summer in English. Now please show my video Zvuk for Štiavnica. Okay, there was Zvuk for Štiavnica, or Sound for Štiavnica. One of my festival is International Jazz Fusion Music Festival, taking place at non-traditional venues in the historical part of the town Banská Štiavnica. And our goal on the main mission of our festival is make these genres better known to the general public. Is organized, as I told you before, by Spectaculum Production. A team of young people worked to develop this celebration of music for more than 7 years till now. Okay, please show my video Slovenské alternatívne leto, Slovak Alternative Summer. as you see, we have a new area this year. It's a nice place, not directly in the city of Banská Štianica, but it's close to the city, close to one of the lake Počúvadlo, near to Banská Štianica. And Slovak Alternative Summer is the oldest independent music festival of Slovakia, and is kind of celebration of the music and bands that have performed at the Bombura Club over the years. I cooperate during this festival with small team, also included the owner of Bombura Club, Maroš Pavuk. Okay, I have prepared a third video for you. It's from my young new festival, Zvuk for Modra. I would like to show you now my third video, Zvuk for Modra. All of my festival, also festival Sound for Modra, Zvuk for Modra are international festival, and as you see, we really love also Czech music band, and every year invite in our festival a lot of band from the Czech scene, also from international scene, mostly from Middle Europe. Okay. Back to the Zvuk for Modra. It's a similar concept as Zvuk for Štianica in small, nice town Modra, situated close to the Bratislava. And Modra is also very popular because the good wine production, and I think it was a good idea to combine good music with good wine. Okay, now we can move to our capital city, to Bratislava. New Cvernovka, or the new treat factory. It's a cultural space located outside the center in a former chemistry school, and whole idea of this as a space for culture and creative studios came from the previous project, which was originally housed in the real treat factory. And now new place in chemistry school is place for many cultural events, and one of them, for example, is also quite young festival, Shad Festival. It's a festival and conference showcasing fresh and shared music from Slovakia, Europe, and beyond. And this festival was founded in Nová Cvernovka in 2018. And I can't forget also the World Music Festival Bratislava is international event organized by one of my friends, Jarmila Vočková, and her NGO Amity. It's international. It's a festival dedicated to world music, traditional music, ethno jazz, and fusions with other genres. And its purpose is to offer a varied lineup in events that animate in the historical center of the city, Bratislava. And personally, I also really love small but nice and popular music space in Bratislava. The name is Klub pod lampou. Okay, I try to be a bit quickly and move to Trnava. In Trnava there is nice and also quite new space, the courtyard, with the part called Little Berlin. Around 300 events for all ages and all genres are organized in its two halls every year. And during a Nouvelle Prague, we will have also discussion about Czech and Slovak club scene with one Slovak guest, Tibor Zelenaj. And Tibor Zelenaj is organizer of a jazz festival, Open Jazz Fest, close to the Nové Mesto nad Váhom, and also promoter, producer, founding member of the Association of Music Club of Slovakia, and also owner the popular jazz and music club in Slovakia, Blue Note Jazz and Music Club. And now we move together to Trenčín Airport and well know the biggest Slovak music festival, Pohoda, organized by Michal Kaščák and his team. And it's the huge event for more than 30,000 people with really nice summer festival vibe. And everybody from Slovakia, I have to tell you, love this festival. We are approaching now to the north of Slovakia, north part of Slovakia, the popular culture space, the Zahraničí station. The Zahraničí station is located in the original building of the old but still functional Žilina Zahraničí railway station. Many events for children and adults, such as festivals, theatrical presentation, concerts, film screening, and different types of lectures are organized in the space of the station. And I cannot forget also mentioned the established International World Music Festival, Hudba Sveta Žilina, organized by my good friend and colleague Martin Oga, also in Žilina, in various places. Okay, we move forward to the next place. I really recommend you also music and culture space Band Museum in Martin, or very nice small place for different culture events, of course included music concerts, Diera do Sveta, with in English, a hole in the world in Liptovský Mikuláš. In Liptovský Mikuláš is also every year a really nice international jazz festival, Mikulášský Jazz Festival, organized by my another good friend Martin Budaj. It was 60th edition this year, and they try to bring jazz to Liptov also during the year in the form of monthly club concerts under the name Jazz in the City. Okay. We are slowly now moving east. I have to tell you, I love personally the temperament of people living in the east of Slovakia. They are really nice, warm, friendly people. and because they are also some of my favorite music venues. In the east of Slovakia, for example, as Stromoradie, Christiania, or Wave Club in Prešov, or Tabačka Kulturfabrik and Kasárne Kulturpark in Košice. I rarely miss this place when I'm preparing a tour for one of the Slovak bands I work with. And in the end of my presentation, I can forget Culture and Community Center, mainly focus for a mix of contemporary art, Bašta, in Bardejov. Okay, that was my map of the cultural spots in Slovakia. We have many different cultural space, music venues, and of course festival in Slovakia. But I try to choose some of my favorite one, and I hope this map will be helpful for your decision for how to find the right place for your tour or your concert. And if you want, as I told you at the beginning of my presentation, feel free for contact me, and I try to help you, and I will be really happy to tell you more about the possibilities of organize some touring or concert in Slovakia. Thank you for your attention now, and if you have some questions, can feel free to ask me. I don't know if you have some questions. No questions. Okay. Thank you one more time, and I hope you will enjoy the next speaker. And we will see, not personally, but online face-to-face with some of you during the speed meeting. I'm really looking forward to the speed meeting with you. And have a nice day, and I really hope that for next year we will plan together a nice concert and touring also in Slovakia, and I hope in another part of the world and Europe and everywhere.
YouTube Music Premium je tu pro vás. Během večeře s přáteli a rodinou, na dlouhých cestách bez signálu a když je obrazovka telefonu zamknutá. Je plný skvělých funkcí, díky kterým budete mít pocit, že jste s kapelou. Pomohou vám najít hudbu, kterou hledáte, a objevit novou hudbu, kterou už nepřestanete poslouchat. Přejděte na YouTube Music Premium. Hudba bez přerušení, přímo pro vás. Vyzkoušejte měsíc bezplatně.
Hello, everybody. Thanks, Sada, for this great introduction to the Slovak market and touring. My name is Marcus. I am the founder and CEO of GigMit, based in Berlin, in Germany. And I was invited to talk to you a little bit more about the German live music market. I'm gonna start with a little bit of my background and GigMit, the company that I founded then I tell you a little bit more about the general live market and the situation in Germany. And then I would move a little bit on to the effects that COVID-19 has and how to deal with it, basically from my perspective, from as an artist who plans to tour in Germany. So first of all, thanks to Nouvelle Prague for setting up the virtual conference. I think it's very important to share knowledge, although we can't meet in person, which is very unfortunate, but to at least give the opportunity and chance to somehow connect. And I also will or would be happy if you have any questions after this presentation or after this talk. Please feel free to reach out to me via email or Facebook or LinkedIn. I'm on all these platforms. Okay, to start with, I used to work in the live music industry in Germany for 15 years. I've done a festival, I've done all sorts of club shows, I worked for a music management company, and I also was representing artists for booking. So I have kind of a 360 degrees perspective on the German music market. And also what I found already at the time working in the industry a couple of years ago is that it's really difficult to get into a new market or to find the right contact for playing live. So my idea was to set up a digital platform and an ecosystem where you can easily get connected to each other and find each other. And that is the founding father idea of GigMid. And I'm really happy to say now that with GigMid we developed a platform thanks to my great team and a lot of work that we put into in the last years, that is now in Europe, based on its users, the biggest platform for music booking, with more than 150,000 bands and DJs and 10,000 festivals and venues that are on this platform. But why I'm saying this and why this is connected to the German touring and music market is a few things. So the first thing is that on GigMid, as an artist, you or an agent or manager who's representing an artist, you can create a artist page for free. And we designed this artist page together with hundreds of promoters from festivals and venues in order to create a page that has all the necessary information in order to make a quick decision whether you go into an artist and you negotiate and you want to book an artist or not. And this artist page, I cannot stress it more or enough, that this artist page is really there for free for you to be used. And I think whenever you gonna try to reach out to new club contacts or festival contacts, use this artist page. It's a public page. That is the first thing. The second thing is that we have developed a database that works in two ways. One way is that festivals and venues can open up calls where you can apply for. And the second way is that we have a database where we have all the contact details that you can search through of clubs and festivals in certain cities or countries, in certain genres and so on. So this is, I think, very important when it comes to getting started, getting new contacts right into venues, because that is basically what it comes down to when you prepare your touring. And we support that, and we build this. We have now 15,000 data sets in this database, and we constantly increasing it. So it's really valuable for you in order to find the venues and festivals you want to play at. There's a huge, since we've been based in Germany, there's a huge part of it already in Germany. So it definitely helps when you want to play there. And the third part is about data. And I will get back to this later as well. But to highlight it already, I think it is very important that you look into your fans and Spotify numbers or YouTube viewers and where they are from, and to try to plan shows around areas where you have already a certain fan base, because this helps to not end up playing in front of 5 people, which doesn't make sense for anybody. It doesn't make sense on an economic perspective, and it doesn't make sense for the venues. They probably won't book you again if they have decided on taking the chance. So being smart and really looking into, okay, which areas make really sense. And if I don't have fans in a certain area, then it makes more sense to play a festival that is focusing on supporting small artists and kind of kicking off, creating this fan base, or to come up with some sort of new and more like pop-up or guerrilla concert ideas that might help to build this fan base. And why I'm saying this, we just connected Spotify and Facebook, and we are about to connect YouTube as well into this artist page and into this profile on GigMit, so that you can actually see in which cities do you have which numbers and how do they develop. So we put it all together, and it's kind of a really simple dashboard for you from the artist side to understand where it makes sense to plan your next gig. So this is about GigMit, and I think it's a very valuable tool to support your plans to play Germany or to play other European countries. And I highly recommend to create a profile there for free. Looking into the German music market in particular, Germany is the biggest, has the biggest live music market in Europe. So obviously it's a big country, and it has a lot of live music infrastructure. It's not as well funded as, for example, France. So the technology standards in the venues are not as great, and the conditions are sometimes really low. But it is basically, it's still the biggest market because of the size of the country, and so it's very attractive for every country to go into Germany, and we see it on the radar of export initiatives and offices in Canada or the US, as well as in Asia or in all the European countries. So there's a lot of competition when it comes to getting into Germany and playing Germany, and it's really difficult to find your way on the, let's say, classical approach. I kind of want to describe you a little bit how that would work, and then moving on a little bit to give you a take on how I think this can be done maybe a little bit smarter. So one very standard way to get into the market would be playing a showcase festival first, and by playing the showcase festival, getting in touch with agents or with other like venues and festivals directly to get a few bookings. I think that is very valuable in any way. I'm not 100% sure if always the result would be the one you want it to be. My personal experience is that there's a lot of competition at showcase festivals, and sometimes you just are in a very unfortunate slot and you won't get any results out of it. That is just a part of it. But on the other hand, it's also very valuable to give you a jump start and push your career, and it's always a fun experience being at one of these festivals. The biggest showcase festival in Germany is Reeperbahn Festival in Hamburg. I think it's also the biggest one in Europe nowadays. And it is, it has like 350 bands playing there. It has over 7,000 professionals attending. you have a very huge competition there. That's basically it. But the festival and the festival vibe is fantastic. They even did it this year in a like COVID reduced version, but they still had physical events happening, which was great and very good to see. On their website at Reborn Festival, they have a database where you can apply, so it's very simple to get in. But there's like 5,000 or more bands that are applying every year, so the competition again is really high, and you need to kind of stand out as an artist. Then there is a CO Pop Festival, but that's just happening kind of these days in Cologne. CO Pop is much smaller. It has like about 1,000 industry attendees, but also less bands. But I have to say it's focusing more on the area where they are placed. So they look into North Rhine-Westphalia, for example. They look into France more. So it's for a Czech band, I'd say it's a little bit more difficult to get in, but I still would try it, and maybe you have a chance and get selected. Then there is in Berlin a new kind of there's a conference that moved into a showcase festival. It's called Most Wanted Music, also happening next week digitally. They have a kind of growing showcase part, and since they're Berlin and a bit closer, they're also looking more to East Europe and to artists from there, and have a quite open kind of and supportive booking scheme. So it's kind of cool. And then there is another festival that is kind of in between CO Pop and Most Wanted, so it's a bit more established. It's slightly smaller than CO Pop, but it's made with a lot of love, and I think it's great. It's called Nürnberg Pop, and Nürnberg Pop is a showcase festival where you where you have like also kind of 800 to 1,000 professionals attending, and again it's just like kind of coming up and building more. Just seeing the question here in the comments about Kulturbörse in Freiburg. Yeah, that's more for world music. I have to say I'm not an expert in the field of world music. There's also Jazz Ahead in Bremen, which is a showcase festival for the jazz scene, which is very kind of growing. And yeah, there's Kulturbörse Freiburg as well. Usually they have all open calls on their website, so they're kind of open for applications. Again, I would recommend to have a Gigmit page as a kind of business card, so to say, to submit. Yeah, in general, you can open and try to get in. But it doesn't end there, of course, with showcase festivals. You have to do marketing around. You have to invite all the people to your show. You have to be physically there, hopefully with a manager or some sort of friend who's supporting that and going around at receptions to personally invite people to the show. And you have to follow up all these kind of people who attended the show, try to get as many meetings as possible with agents and so on to get in touch with them. So that's about showcase festivals. I move on to the agents. I mean, obviously you could reach out to all the agents in Germany who have a fantastic network to all the venues and festivals, and can get your shows easily. The only problem is that those agents is a very limited group of people. They can only have a limited group of artists that they represent, and they get approached. Like I hear from agents, they receive up to 100 emails per day from artists that want to be represented, and they might sign, a handful in a year. So it is very challenging to find an agent that is willing to represent you. Usually it would work if you have like a story to tell, like a huge kind of growth in Berlin that's also sustainable. I hear often from artists when they approach agents, okay, we have been featured in one playlist on Spotify and we have now a lot of fans in Berlin. Can we do something? An agent would not work on that basis. It helps, of course, but it should be broader. And if an agent plans a tour, then you should have like fans in several cities. So it is kind of a difficult approach. But I want to mention some. So there is Landstreicher, which is a huge independent agency. Again, I'm not like an expert in the field of world music, so this is more pop, rock, hip hop, electronic music maybe. So Landstreicher is a huge agency. There's a new agency just formed called All Artists, which is the former kind of group from 4 artists that moved to this agency. There's FKP Scorpio, who are huge in like all over Europe, part of the Eventim Live network, and owning also festivals themselves. So it's a really powerful agency, but they are also one of the agents that represent all the like transatlantic superstars and so on, and they work with Ed Sheeran and others. So it's probably very hard to get in. So then we have ASS as another example, which are an agency in Germany. So that's kind of like to give you a few names. You can look them up online and of course reach them out, but I would recommend probably going more to a showcase festival first to build some personal relationships to them rather just sending an email. So that would be my take on the strategy. When it comes to venues and festivals, so there's basically in Germany, we have like festivals, clubs and local promoters. So local promoters are the ones who act independently, rent the club based on what you need, which sizes you need. There's venues that book directly, and there's a lot of festivals. It's in comparison to the UK, for example, Germany is less corporate, so to say. So there is a like a lot of the or most of the venues and most of the festivals are independent, independently organized, independent organizations, which makes it more like you can't, meet up with one club and that means one company and that means, okay, you play in 6 or 7 cities because they have venues there. This is there's a few on the arena level. There's a few companies like this, but on the smaller venue or festival level, it's mainly independent, which means basically that you have to approach them directly, and that means a lot of research for you in order to find all the contact details and then to approach them. But what I can say, since again, it's a very it's a focus country for a lot of other countries. The venues or festivals get approached a lot. They get a lot of requests. So you have to stand out and you have to build a strategy around why you should reach out to those clubs or festivals. And that means basically that what my recommendation would be is that you definitely work on building a fan base first, rather than just entering a market. So if you think Germany would be a good audience for your music, basically, or German people would be a good audience, then I recommend to try it first by running campaigns on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, or YouTube. Doesn't need to be all the platforms at the same time, can be one for a trial. You can target specific cities, so I would recommend to start with cities first. We have, of course, the 4 big media cities, which Hamburg, Munich, Cologne, and Berlin. Those cities are the most competitive cities when it comes to live shows. I would recommend to focus on smaller cities, to focus on, for example, Dresden, Leipzig, or like in the east, or I mentioned Bremen already, or there's North Rhine-Westphalia. There's a lot of like quite big cities, but they are not as much in the focus, like Düsseldorf or Essen and so on. So I recommend to focus on these cities and maybe advertise on a Facebook campaign in those cities your music, on a YouTube campaign, and build your fan base first. And only if you have like a valuable fan base of a few hundred or few thousand people per city, approach the promoter, approach the venue directly. Because if you can write in the subject line already, we want to like to play in Bremen, since we have like 1,500 fans on Facebook just in Bremen, for example, then it would definitely make the venue looking into it. And then, of course, they need to like the music. Of course, they need to have like, share the vision that you have. But it gives you a very valuable reason to play a show there and to sell tickets and to make it an success on an economical side as well. So that is would be my recommendation approaching those venues and the strategy. So really focus on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube first. If you don't know how to do it, just try to find somebody who has experience in that. There is like more and more freelance platforms, like I know Fiverr or Upwork or platforms like that, where you find freelancers who are experienced in digital marketing. You don't have the experience, but really focus on building that fan base first, because if you don't have anybody, the live show won't draw these people. There's just too much competition going on. For example, in Berlin, we have in normal times, we have 180 concerts a day, every day, 7 days in a week. So there's just too much competition in order to draw a big fan base and make it a big success from the start. But I know a lot of venues, when they book an artist and the venue is less than 50% capacity sold, they never book the artist again. So you don't want to, destroy your reputation from the start. So I would recommend to be smarter than that. So now, and that's leading to the question here in the comment section as well, about COVID. I think I'm running a bit over time. I'm sorry for this. So I try to be very quick. Obviously there's no events happening at the moment, and definitely it's a very difficult situation, and it's definitely I would say not recommended to reach out to venues directly right now, because they have different problems. But there's a huge chance, because there's a huge attention now on streaming music and watching music and watching live gigs as well. So I would definitely recommend to do some shows from a living room or a studio or outside, record it or do live streamed gigs. There's platforms. There's, for example, one platform that we work with on Gigmit as well that you can find there. It's called Drin geblieben. That means stay inside. And that is a platform from all these kind of nightlife magazines or websites that teamed up and built this platform where you have live streamed gigs every night. And I recommend to do that, because you can really test cases without having a huge investment. You don't need to go there. You can test if an audience really gets attracted by your performance. And of course, it's a different scenario playing physically live and playing virtually, but it is a very good channel now to get the first feedback. And again, I would use the same strategy, building a fan base first, and then playing a live streamed show, for example, and see if people and how many people from these just freshly built fan base turn up and watch your stream. And even if they don't watch the full gig, but that gives you a good feeling already how a live gig would happen. So I recommend to use this time now to really get into growing the fan base, looking into how can you on digital platforms reach the audience and build a fan base, and then use all this data and use all the results that you have got, like maybe in spring next year, and then reach out to the venues, and you have a good chance of getting booked and getting selected with them. All right, I think I'm far over time. I'm sorry for taking a bit too much time. And thanks for your attention. Thanks for your questions. And I hope I could help you a little bit. And again, if you have more, just reach out to me on any of the social platforms, and I'm happy to answer more questions and help you there.
YouTube Music Premium je tu pro vás. Během večeře s přáteli a rodinou, na dlouhých cestách bez signálu a když je obrazovka telefonu zamknutá. Je plný skvělých funkcí, díky kterým budete mít pocit, že jste s kapelou. Pomohou vám najít hudbu, kterou hledáte a objevit novou hudbu, kterou už nepřestanete poslouchat. Přejděte na YouTube Music Premium. Hudba bez přerušení, přímo pro vás. Vyzkoušejte měsíc bezplatně.